Hello and welcome to a special rerun of the live quiz, which this week was on Thursday. So what I decided to do was I'm going to re-upload it on the Saturday, but I'm going to take out all the bits that you don't really need to hear, to be honest. So all you're going to get is the questions and then immediately the answers. So if you're not ready after the last question, I would suggest pausing it because then the answers will be coming straight after. So, hope you enjoy this quiz. Let me know in the comments if this works out for you, and also let me know what your score was, and I'll see you at the end. I'll talk you through it. I'll do the first one. So let's put it on here. So here it is. It's guess the sitcom from the blank sets. Now there we go. So you get the idea. What is that sitcom? Right, so is that Friends, or is it Roseanne? Is it How I Met Your Mother, or is that the set of Cheers? First one's quite easy, I think. So there we go. Is it Friends, Roseanne, or is it How I Met Your Mother, or is it Cheers? I'm just going to mirror myself so it doesn't look as I'm looking the right way. It looks a little bit better that way, doesn't it? Right, so that is question 1. And I'll move on now to question 2. Is that the set of Sex and the City? Is it the set of Seinfeld? Is it Will and Grace, or is it Felicity? I'm just going to give you a little bit longer to deliberate on these pictures. Oh, that tastes nice. I've been looking forward to that all day. What is it? Is it Sex and the City, Seinfeld, Will and Grace, or is it Felicity? Okay, let's crack on then. Yes, I know the answer was on the door, I noticed that, but hey, I wasn't going to point it out to everybody. Alright, for question 1 that is. Okay, now, is that the Golden Girls? Is that Flipper? Is it should be Mork and Mindy, not More and Mindy, Mork and Mindy, or is it Laverne and Shirley? Is that the house for a popular sitcom? The Golden Girls, Flipper, Mork and Mindy, or is it Laverne and Shirley? Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye. I'm gonna have to remember what number we're on here because this is question 3. I forgot to put I wanted to make the pictures as big as possible. So this is question 3. Is that the Cosby Show? Is it the Jeffersons? Is it Seinfeld, or is it Taxi? Now just ignore the little bit of construction, but that's obviously someone's taking a photograph of the real street. But where was that a prominent shooting location? Is that right? Is it the Cosby Show, the Jeffersons, Seinfeld, or is it Taxi? Okay, on to question 4. Nope, didn't pray. Don't know why it wasn't moving there. Thought I'd press the button. I think this is an easy one, isn't it? Is that Family Guy? Is it Animaniacs? Is it The Simpsons? Or is it Dexter's Laboratory? It's an animated show. That's my clue. Family Guy, Animaniacs? Never heard of that actually. The Simpsons or Dexter's Laboratory? I've lost count now. On to question 5, I think it is. Question 5? I think. Okay, is that Married with Children? All in the Family? Who's the Boss? Or is that Roseanne? Is it even a real house? Looks as if it's made of cardboard, doesn't it? These are all American sitcoms, by the way. This is question 6, I think. An oldie, this one. Definitely oldie. Is it Bewitched, The Honeymooners, The Andy Griffith Show, or I Love Lucy? Gotta be honest, it's well before my time. I think we'll just rush off to question 7 now. Another animated show. Is that King of the Hill? Or is it Family Guy? Is it The Simpsons? Or is it American Dad? Is there a clue there? I've totally lost count now. I think we're on to question 8. I recognise that couch. Is it The Cosby Show though? Is it Married with Children? Is it Roseanne? Or is it All in the Family? Yeah, is that The Cosby Show, Married with Children, Roseanne, or All in the Family? I've totally lost count now. This could be the last one. I think this is the last one. This is question 10. Is that Step by Step? Never heard of it. Is it Boy Meets World? Is it The Wonder Years? Or is it Full House? As I said, they are all American sitcoms, but they all appeared on UK TV. So, is it Step by Step, Boy Meets World, The Wonder Years, or is it Full House? It's not as easy as it looks, isn't it? You think, that'd be dead easy. Especially after question 1, you thought it was really easy. But I think that is it. That is your round 1. And let's go straight into the answers. Right, so question 1, it was Cheers. There we go. It is in the background, but I don't think you did that anyway. Right, and this question 2 was Seinfeld. Another one for the 90s, or 80s, 90s, something like that. Okay. And number 3 was The Golden Girls, if I remember rightly. Yep, The Golden Girls. Sorry, I should have paused that there. That was The Golden Girls. The next one here, this is real life, but it shows you. I always thought it was a set, but it's The Cosby Show. I was convinced that was a set, but clearly it's a real street. So there we go. And the next one, that is of course The Simpsons. So well done if you got that right. This next one here is Married with Children. Should get confirmed there. That was always the scene you saw before they actually went into the house. So, and the next one here is I Love Lucy. Another animated one. This could have been, for me, could have been A, B, or D. But if you look closely at the animation, it is, of course, Family Guy. Did you get that right, Dad? Did you? I hope so. And remember this fondly as a kid, that is Roseanne. And the last one, again, remember this growing up, it should be The Wonder Years. There we go. The Wonder Years. So how do we all go on for round 1? Right, so let's crack on then with round 2, which will be sport. Yeah. Okay, 10 questions on sport. Good luck, everyone. Probably everybody that's good at sport will probably be watching the football right now, but anyway. So which England footballer was famously never given a yellow card? So it was a very, very well-known English footballer was famously never given a yellow card. That's question 1. And question 2, how many times has Roger Federer won the French Open? He's won a lot of Grand Slams, but how many times has he won the French Open? How many times has Roger Federer won the French Open? On to question 3. Which sport involves tucks and pikes? So which sport involves tucks and pikes? And question 4. Katarina Johnson-Thompson is the world champion of which sport? So Katarina Johnson-Thompson is world champion in which sport? I think these are quite doable, even if you're not into sport. Most of them anyway. Question 5. Which country did F1 legend Ayrton Senna come from? Where did he originate? Where was he born? What was his nationality? Which country did F1 legend Ayrton Senna come from? Here's your question 5. On to question 6. A penalty in football is taken how many yards away from the goal? So how many yards is the penalty spot away from the goal in football? It's always been the same. And question 7. Who were the 2 teams that played in the first game of the Premier League's Project Restart? Now, the Project Restart was just when the Premier League, the English Premier League, started after the Corona lockdown. So, but who were the first 2 teams that played in the first game of the Premier League's Project Restart? That's what they called it. When the league started up again, they called it Project Restart. And question 8. Who has scored the most Premier League hat-tricks? It's probably lost on a lot of people because probably a lot of people that knew these answers would probably be watching the football right now, like I should be. Anyway, who were Man United playing when Eric Cantona famously leaped into the crowd and kicked a fan? Big karate kung fu kick. Who were Man United? But who were they playing? Who were Man United playing when Eric Cantona leaped into the crowd and kicked a fan? If you've never seen it, Google it. You'll be amazed. It's mental. And question 10. In which sport do you wear a plastron? In which sport do you wear a plastron? That is your sport round. Right, so here we are. Here's your answers. No, I need to put the answers up. No, you know what I'm doing? I've got the answers in front of me. Now I just remembered. Thought I had it together this week. Right, which England footballer was famously never given a yellow card? That is Match of the Day's Gary Lineker. Gary Lineker was famously never ever given a yellow card, ever, throughout his career. Question 2. How many times has Roger Federer won the French Open? I think he's got 18 Grand Slams, but he's only won the French Open the once. Just the once. Because let's face it, Nadal wins it every other year, so what chance he got? Let's make sure that's stopped there, yep. Which sport involves tucks and pikes? You'll all know this if you watch the Olympics, especially if you listen to the commentary. It is diving. We're always going about tucks and triple salchow pike or whatever it is anyway. It is diving. And question 4. Katarina Johnson-Thompson is world champion of heptathlon. Just recently became world champion in heptathlon. Question 5. Which country did F1 legend Ayrton Senna come from? He is Brazilian, so he comes from Brazil. And rolling on to question 6. A penalty kick is taken from 12 yards away from the goal. So the answer is 12 yards. Always has been. And question 7. Who were the 2 teams that played in the first game of the Premier League's Project Restart, Aston Villa and Sheffield United. So it's Aston Villa and Sheffield United for that. I will put the answers on at the end, just in case you've missed any. And who has scored the most Premier League hat-tricks? It is Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero. I'll never forget this one. Who were Man United playing when Eric Cantona leaped into the crowd and kicked a fan? It was, of course, Crystal Palace. He got what was going. He deserved it. Eric's the king. And a plastron is fencing. You wear a plastron in fencing. Don't ask me where you wear it. I'm thinking it's either there or a helmet. I don't know. Answers on a postcard if you know. And I'm just going to put on the answers now, if I can find it. There you go. And there are your answers. Right, the next one is I'm personally quite proud of. It is the picture round. So let's crack on with the picture round. I've already posted this on social media, so if you are following me on social media, then get over to there. Right, so here we are. Basically, guess the film. All you've got to do is guess the film. Now, obviously, everything that would tell you about the film has been taken out, but you can still guess the film even though it has been taken out, because it's still pretty much well known. Good luck, everyone. Right, so let's reveal the answers, put you all out your misery. There we go. So there we go. See it's quite clever, isn't it? Quite clever. Very, very clever. I didn't do it. I wouldn't have enough time to do all that. But 127 hours, which is, I've never seen, to be fair, but it's quite a famous film, apparently. Quite a decent cast in it. Lion King, again, taking out the lion there. Exorcist, I'm sure everyone was kicking themselves for that one. Addams Family Values. Tangled. And then we've got Clockwork Orange. Once Upon a Time in America. I guess that was quite a difficult one. Mars Attacks. And then we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The clue at the bottom, I might have obscured it actually, was, what does it say? Lean green and on the screen everywhere. And the last one was Apocalypse Now. Right, so let's crack on now to the next round, which is in the same theme. It's film and TV. Right, so how many James Bond actors have there been so far? How many James Bond actors have there been so far? For question 1 on film and TV, or TV and film. I know what's wrong there. There we go. Right, so that's question 1. I'll actually give you a little bit longer than that, because that, I'm sure you'll be able to count them up in your head. Because we've all seen them all. I reckon everybody has pretty much seen every James Bond movie. Every actor who's played James Bond, I'm trying to say, maybe one exception. There we go. That's question 1. Question 2, very relevant right now. What is the name of the Tiger King from the Netflix show Tiger King? You can either give him his real name or what we've all known him as. I'll accept both. But there we go. Sorry, someone, how dare they? Someone's notified me on Twitter. It's not allowed. Dare they? There we go. That's question 2. If you haven't seen that, it'll be completely over your head. But if you have seen it, then you'll know exactly who it is, or you'll be kicking yourself for not knowing. Okay, how many Friends episodes were there in total? This is a tough question. I'm gonna if you can answer this within 10, I'm gonna give you the point. Okay. If you get it exactly right, you can get an extra point. I was going to say an extra 5 or extra 10 points, but no, an extra point. There you go. So how many Friends episodes were they? If you were watching Eggheads just the day before, what day's this Thursday? I reckon on Tuesday, you'll get the answer to this. Or was it The Chase? No, it was Eggheads. It was on Eggheads, this question. Sorry, I digress. On to question 4. Who created The Office? Simple. Who created The Office? Fairly straightforward, that one. You either know it or you don't. Question 5. Which character in Titanic said, "I'm king of the world"? I was going to do that, but I didn't. Which character in Titanic said, "I'm the king of the world"? Paraphrase there. You've got to name not the actor, the character. Well done if you get that right. Okay, question 6. Where is Peaky Blinders set? Show I've never actually watched, ever. I believe it's very good, but where is it set? On to question 7. This has been asked before in this quiz, but anyway. Who was the first winner of the X Factor in 2004? But I decided to leave it in anyway. But this has definitely been on, if not once, twice, in some sort of capacity. So if you turn up every week, the answer has been revealed for this. But who was the first winner of the X Factor in 2004? I know for a fact it was on one of the picture rounds, the answer to this question. That was question 7. And question 8. What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? This is bugging me. It's just a wee bit off centre, isn't it? I need to move that a little bit. Or maybe make it wide. And then make it a wee bit smaller. Yeah, who cares? Messing my mind down. Messing my mind. Right, okay, so what is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? Change it back. Question 9. Who directed the 1976 film Taxi Driver? So who directed the 1976 film Taxi Driver? You looking at me? Looking at me? And the last question in this round, in the penultimate round. Who is the pilot of Thunderbird 4? And there you go, that was your film and TV round. Right, okay, let's get crack on with the answers then. So question 1, how many James Bond actors have there been so far? 7 is the answer to that. I should have had this actually. I'm gonna name them all now. First there was Sean Connery, then David Niven. No, that was a tough one, wasn't it? Then George Lazenby, just for the one. Roger Moore, probably the most famous along with Sean Connery. Then it was Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and the latest one is Daniel Craig. So that is your 7 actors. On to question 2, which was, what is the name of the Tiger King from the Netflix show Tiger King? It is Joe Exotic, or if you want his real name, Joseph Maldonado Passage. But Joe Exotic, everyone will probably get that. Joe Exotic. So well done if you got that right. As I said, if you haven't seen that show, you haven't a clue what I'm talking about. Anyway, question 3, how many Friends episodes were there? I said you can get this within 10, but if you're watching Eggheads, you'll know the answer. It was 236 episodes, so 236 episodes. If you've got that within 10, you've got the point. If you've got 236, you have got an extra point, and I want to know in the comments if you got that right. And I'm looking at my wife there. She should know it. Question 4. Who created The Office? Was Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. You can deliberate within yourself if you want to give yourself a point just for Ricky Gervais, but it's Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant for if you really want to be strict for question 4. And question 5, which character in Titanic said, "I'm king of the world"? It was, of course, Jack Dawson. Jack Dawson. Again, if you want to give the point for Jack, that's up to you. I'm not a judge, don't care. On to question 6. Where is Peaky Blinders set? I would have said London all day long without actually watching it, but apparently it is Birmingham. Never seen it before. I thought it'd be London all day long. Peaky Blinders? It's Londonish, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, I've just taken the answers from my source. I never actually checked that one. Okay, question 7. Who was the first winner of the X Factor in 2004? It was, of course, Steve Brookstein. Steve Brookstein, who famously fell out with Simon Cowell. Forgot the guy's name there afterwards. Question 8. What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? And I was thinking of this. I was going to think black and white. Black and white. It's a black and white cat, but it is called Jess. So well done if you got that right. Jess is the answer to question 8. Postman's Pat, black and white pet cat. And question 9. Who directed 1976 film Taxi Driver? It is, of course, Martin Scorsese. He famously has never won an Oscar, if I believe. Probably the best director never to win an Oscar, I believe. I don't know if he's won one just recently. I can't remember. But that was always the label he had. And question 10. Who was the pilot of Thunderbird 4? It was Gordon Tracy. Right, okay, now we are last round, general knowledge. There we go. So let's crack on with the last round. Did I say last round? Yeah. Okay, general knowledge questions. There we go, rolling in. I'm still on the screen, don't really care. Let's move on. Right, well done. Good luck from the last round. What does AC stand for when using a button on a calculator? Yeah. Anyway, question 2. Which type of nut is used to flavour Nutella chocolate spread? So what type of nut? It's on the label, I believe. Okay, there we go. That's for question 2. And question 3. Which US state was President Donald Trump born in? What state was Donald Trump born in? On to question 4. Which global brand is Elon Musk the CEO of? I've got to be honest. I've never heard of this. But it's a thing apparently. Which global brand is Elon Musk the CEO of? I can't say that. CEO of. That's your question 4. And question 5. Which artist painted the Mona Lisa? Which artist painted the Mona Lisa? On to question 6. True or false? Netflix began as a DVD rental service. That's hard to say. Netflix began as a DVD rental service. Is that true or is it false? hard to believe if it is true. Netflix began as a DVD rental service. True or false? On to question 7. Which Stephen King novel takes place mostly in the Overlook Hotel? And question 8. What oath is sworn by graduates of medicine to regulate their further conduct? And question 9. Which country is the origin of the cocktail Mojito? That's how you pronounce it. Which country is the origin of the cocktail Mojito? I don't think I've ever had one, actually, Mojito. And the last question of the quiz. In which city was the Titanic built? I can hear my daughter come back up here. Which city was the Titanic built? Right, let's go on with the answers then.
We speak in the morning.
I know, darling.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, make sure you close the door. I'll be through it honestly in 5 minutes. Right, on you go.
No.
Be a good girl.
It's been 5 minutes.
On you go. Right. What does the AC stand for when used on a button on a calculator? It is all clear. Believe it or not. It is all clear. It stands for all clear, question 1. And let's roll on to question 2. Which type of nut is used to flavour Nutella chocolate spread? It is, of course, the hazelnut. I think it's on every jar, actually. A hazelnut is on every jar. Question 3. Which US state was President Trump born in? It is New York State. Anyone who's been to New York will probably know that. With the Trump Tower. Certainly wasn't born in Turnberry anyway. Which global brand is Elon Musk the CEO of? It is Tesla. Listen. No, it was totally over my head, that one. And question 5. Which artist painted the Mona Lisa? It is Leonardo da Vinci. Or Da Vinci. And question 6. Netflix did actually begin as a DVD rental service. It seems an absolute age ago, but they did, along with Blockbuster, followed suit. I believe Netflix were the first to do it, I believe. And then Blockbuster followed suit and used to do that. You used to order your DVD and it would come in the post the next day. You would watch it and then you would post it again. Crazy. But it did actually happen. And question 7. Question 7. Which Stephen King novel takes place mostly on Overlook Hotel? It was The Shining. Well done if you got that right. And the oath, where I was interrupted by my daughter there, is the Hippocratic Oath. Hippocratic Oath. I should have done my exercises before I come on. Hippocratic Oath. Well done. If there's any doctors in the chat, they'll know that. And question 9. Which country is the origin of the cocktail, the Mojito? It is Cuba. So well done if you've got that right. And the last answer to the quiz: in which city was the Titanic built? It was, of course, Belfast. So, how was that? How did you get on? Don't forget, I want to know how you did in the comments. And don't forget to follow me on social media. Links will be on screen now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Enjoy your weekend.